Hello and welcome to this week's angling vlog. This week you join me back on the banks of the River Dane and we're in search of chub on a short afternoon session. Before we get into this week's vlog, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that left such nice comments on last week's video and who enjoys the channel. I log in every Monday night to try and reply to every comment, and it's something that I really do enjoy doing. So if you've got any comments, any questions on the vlog, pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. As you can probably see from my breath, the temperature is really dropping now, and I bet the backdrop behind me has changed in the 4 weeks that we've been into lockdown. Speaking of the local lockdown, it has impacted the fishing quite a bit. At this time of year, I would have loved to have been on the banks of the River Ribble and on the banks of the Severn. I do apologise that over the past couple of weeks, the vlogs have been on the River Dane and quite similar. But what I've been doing is doing the utmost to keep content coming on the channel, and at the same time minimising the amount of time that I have to go out. The part of the Dane that I have been visiting has been dead easy to get out the car, put my basket on the peg and fish. What that has meant is I've been able to keep safe, keep away from people, but at the same time get content up on the channel. I haven't been going out fishing half as much as I normally do, preferring to get out there, get a vlog recorded and get back home safe and keep my family safe as well. So I do appreciate that the vlogs have been quite similar, but hopefully that's a little bit of an explanation why. In the coming weeks, we've got a bit more freedom now to go a bit further afield, so you will start seeing the pike, chub, dace appearing on the channel with a bit of luck. Let's get back on the banks of the River Dane in search of those chub. I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. If you do, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch us all next week. Tight lines. It looks beautiful for an afternoon's fishing. It's grey, overcast, and it's proper winter feel about it today. We had an easterly wind this morning while I was doing them jobs, so how that'll affect it I don't know. But today is not really about a net of fish, it's just about getting a bend in the rod. So let's make a start. So a quick look at the side tray. We've got a few pints of red maggot. We've got some hemp from Cheshire Particle, and that's got that garlic flavour on it as well. A few bits and pieces that we need. They say you don't need that much for stick float fishing. In fact, most of it fits in one of them little pouches. Obviously the GoPro, and that's the swim. So nice pace in front of us. It's got a nice even pace. We'll be putting my maggots here, my hemp round about here, and then just trotting down this bank. So while I've been setting up, I've just been feeding a few maggots into the swim just to try and get a bit of bait around the area. We've got a nice marker with that nice bush on the far bank there, and just going to put my maggots in line with me. Got a nice long bit of water to trot down to try and search out the fish, and hopefully in this short afternoon session we can just pick up one or two fish. Some sessions are about being there all day, and sometimes you just got to get your jobs done and try and nick an hour. But conditions are perfect. It's overcast, grey, the river's just got some clarity to it, and it's just about trying to get one or two bites from midday till the end of the day. We've already had a bit of a disaster that I forgot to charge one of the GoPro batteries, so it's a good job it's a short session, because we are only on the one battery today. So sometimes you are thankful that it is only a short session with this rain coming down, and it is good to know that I might only be here for what, 2-3 hours. And we are here for the best time of day, the afternoon into dusk, especially today where it's overcast. It'll be dark around about 3 o'clock in that last hour. So just into the first one of the session. It's taken probably 15 minutes of constant putting bait in just to draw one onto the line. And there is a snag just where you'd like to go under your feet here. It's come above it. So it's good that we've managed to get this fish, because obviously a snag that close to you isn't great. And this fish is fighting under the rod tip. And these sessions are just all about getting that bend in the rod. Getting that bend in the rod and hopefully 1 or 2 fish on the bank. As I said earlier on the vlog, sometimes we have all day and sometimes we've just got to nip out for that hour or 2 to get that fishing fix. It's the first chub of the day. It's not a bad one. There we go. Well, a perfect little chublet to start the session. I haven't got long today, so it won't take too long vlogging him. I'm probably not going to be the longest vlog. We'll get it straight back and see if we can pick up another. So just keeping that bait going in, going easy on the hemp, because obviously I don't know how many fish are in the area. Just put 1 or 2 small pouches in at the start just to focus the fish into the swim. Just keep that maggot going in. It's a lovely trot. Like I said at the start, it's going down a nice glide right down the middle of the river, and you're right behind that stream of maggots. If you think about it as a motorway, you've got your inside lane, the middle lane and the fast lane on the far side. We're very much today going down the middle lane. I don't think these chub are going to be on this inside, it's far too clear. So I do think they're going to be on that the edge of the first lane over to the beginning of the fast lane as such. And when you split down the river into them sections, you can begin to target and keep your bait going down that same line. Oh, just into the second one. This one's come much further down the swim. I've just got to bully it a little to get it upstream. And there we go, the second chub of the session, and got that bend in the rod. That's a much better chub. The second chub of the session, slightly better than the first one, and we got what we come for, didn't we? That bend in the rod. The second chub, let's get it straight back and say it's not the longest session, and see if we can get another. We're about halfway through the session now, about 2 hours in. We've probably got about an hour and a half, 2 hours left. Just keep putting the maggots in. At the first chub about here and the second chub further down. Both them chub had a lot of maggots in their mouths. Now the first one you can understand just being the first. The second one is a bit worrying. If you think about it, you have 100 sweets and you chuck them all in a room and there's 10 chub. They'll each get about 10 maggots, won't they? Now if you've been throwing maggots in for a while and that's been getting all 100, then you've got to think that chub's at a lot of bait. Just makes me question just how many more are down there. And it's the days like this on the river that I really do love. You know, everything's dying back, you've got that mist, and it's not really coming up on the camera, but it's a dark day. It feels like it's never really got light. You can see your breath, it's got that chill in the air, and I just love this time of year. I really do. You got all them beautiful reflections on the water. There's no wind today, so you can dot that float right down. So as we approach the last hour and a half of the session now, you can really feel that temperature has dropped. You can see me breath. There's a mist on the water, and this last hour of the session now is where if I was going to pick up some of those chub that have been around the area for this afternoon, we would start to see them. It's just got that feel about it now, and hopefully in that last hour we can pick up a fish. So we really are against the clock now. Probably got about 15 minutes left. It's 20 past 3 and it normally goes dark around about 4. It's so overcast today and dark, it's going to be a lot sooner. So let's see if we can pick up our last knockings chub. So right on last knockings, we've managed to hook into another one, and right down the swim again. And the biggest concern is that it goes down this inside bank. I think it's staying down the middle at the moment, but you have just got to try and bully them as much as you can with £2 line on a hook link upstream. And this could well be the last one of the session. Let's see how many more casts we can get in. Just hope we can get this one in. It's diving for the roots like they always do, and then the keep net. But becomes, and it has. It's been hard work, that has. Been a lot of trotting down the swim, so we might have time for maybe one more. We always want one more, don't we? And there we go. If it is the last fish of the session, it's a beautiful fish to end on. It's been an enjoyable 2 sessions of late. Hard work, it has been, but great fun. But that, more than worth the effort to get out here and try and get a bite. Let's get it straight back. Really are on last knockings. I can just make out my float when it goes over the green of that tree downstream. Must admit, a lot of it is just feeling for the bite, but it's that last hour where, you know, you just know, even on the hardest days, doesn't matter how hard it is, what venue you're on a canal, river or lake, when you move into that last hour of the day, you'd always feel like you've got a chance. Right, so the session comes to an end there now, and as you can probably tell from the grainy footage, we're well on the cusp of dark. An enjoyable session on the bank, but hard afternoon. Them bites were well earned, and I kept going until I couldn't see me float anymore. I really enjoyed it. One of those winter days on the bank, and I imagine if we'd have been on a river that contained dace, we'd have had a good day's fishing today, because it just had that clarity to it and that stillness and that cold. As you can see from the final net, we managed to get what we set out for this afternoon. 1 or 2 bites and a proper bend in that rod with that one that come late on. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week.